Hey, what's up, guys? It's Matt, and I'm going to do my weekly checks on my European nightcrawler cocoons. I actually have 3 of them. You guys have only seen 2. So the third one I did a little bit different. So let's take a look. In bin 1, it's got ventilation on top, so it's obviously dried out some. So I know I'm going to have to water it up. I buried apple right here in the middle, and here it is. Feels warm around it. That's interesting. Any worms? Right there's a worm. So while I was harvesting castings from my vermi bag, I actually saw how little these damn things are when they hatch. They're tiny. No wonder I haven't been able to see any. So there's probably more in here. I just haven't been able to see them because I didn't expect them to be that little for some reason. So I'm gonna go ahead and flip this whole one and see if I see any more worms. I mean, if there's one that is that big, there should be some more in here. It's just gonna be a matter of finding them. Like I said last week, next time I do these cocoon-only bins, it will not have this much bedding in it, I promise you. I just saw another worm, and I lost it. Somewhere in here, that's fine. Yeah, my biggest regret right now is putting so much material in here. Thought that was a worm, but it's not. Okay, so definitely saw one worm. Not sure. I think I saw another worm, but I don't want to say for sure. This stuff's pretty dry, so I am going to moisten it up when we're done. I probably won't show you that on video. But I imagine I'll have to do that in 2 out of these 3. So I'm gonna bury that hunk of apple right back there in the middle and cover it up. Everything got good and flipped, so I'll moisten that in a second. Moving straight into the second bed, also with a big ventilation hole without a screen because I got lazy. As you can see, it's a little bit dry on top too. It also has an apple buried somewhere right here in the middle, or it should. Yeah. So that's all that's left of that apple. I see a little worm doing his business on it. So that's cool. We're gonna set that over here to the side and dig around. So we know there are worms hatching. And I will tell you that I don't have the patience for these cocoon-only bins. Lilia, Grant, the Anarchy Worm Bin, all you guys that do cocoon-only bins, I don't know how you do it. This drives me insane. I like to see action. But it's all part of understanding and learning the life cycle of these little guys. So not only am I not seeing worms, I'm not seeing any cocoons left, really. So they may be hatched out of here and I'm just not finding them. That's fine. There's another one. Right there in that corner. So that's good. Starting to see worms. Since I've moved these things in the houses since they've started hatching, or after I moved them into the house to get them warmer, then they started hatching. So I definitely think that the warmer temperature probably helped. So that apple's buried up in there. Now let's roll straight into the third bin. This one is something different. It has no ventilation at all. It's only been set up, I think it's been 3 weeks now. So on this one, I wanted to keep the moisture level pretty high, and I top dressed this one with compost and manure. So I've got an apple right there in the middle, just like on all of them. It's coated in the compost and manure. It's got my casting rich bedding underneath it. And now it's all gonna get mixed together. When I do this check, I'm seeing some, right there's a dark cocoon. There's a whole bunch of dark cocoons. So I really think this stuff is getting ready to hatch soon. I'm not gonna flip it all over. I'll probably flip half of it. And just see if I see any worms, which I don't yet. But we did see some really dark cocoons. As you can see, this one does not have nearly the same amount of bedding in it as the other one did. It's got probably half as much because I learned my lesson when I set up those two. All right, so I flipped over half of this bed, half of this bin. I'm gonna bury this apple up right in the middle. This bin of cocoons is definitely moister than the other ones, but I didn't find any standing water. There's still a yellow cocoon. There's a lot of cocoons in this one that I can see easily because I don't have to dig through mountains of bedding. All right, guys, so I'm gonna water these up. Probably won't put as much water in this one because it's pretty moist. Water them up, cover them back up, and put them in the house, and we will take a look at them next week and see if we start getting a little more action.